Welcome back to the Sugar Freedom Channel. I'm Catherine Gordon. The purpose of the Sugar Freedom Channel is to help you get off of sugar and stay off of sugar, especially if you have more than 50 pounds to lose. I'm very excited about today's video because it addresses a very important subject, specifically having to do with the Sugar Freedom Program. And that is the question of saturated fat, high cholesterol. Is it safe to eat a high-fat diet if you have high cholesterol? Now, you probably know if you've watched this channel that I am a woman who's lost a lot of weight and who has kept it off. And I've been a certified personal trainer and a certified fitness nutrition specialist. However, I'm not a medical doctor and I'm not a registered dietitian, so it's very important to me to bring research, studies, medical opinions as opposed to personal opinion to my channel. And that's what I'm going to do today with this study, which is called Long-Term Effects of Ketogenic Diet in Obese Subjects with High Cholesterol Level. I was so excited and so happy when I found this study because this is specifically the question that people ask me when they get sugar freedom. Gosh, this looks like a lot of saturated fat. Is this going to be safe for me? Is this going to be okay for me to follow this diet? So I always say, ask your doctor. You need to get your doctor on board, especially if, for example, you have type 2 diabetes and you're on insulin. I have had people that I've worked with who have read Sugar Freedom, who've talked to their doctor. The amount of insulin they require goes down very, very quickly. Obviously, you want to have your doctor on board. Now, if you are generally healthy, and I was generally healthy, although I had experienced unstable blood sugar during my pregnancy and I had experienced PIH, pregnancy-induced hypertension, so I was clearly having some trouble with my blood sugar back in my late 30s. And then in my 40s, I continued to keep the weight on. I remained obese into my mid-40s when I cut the sugar, went keto, and my weight came down. That being said, my cholesterol situation has continued to be, shall we say, interesting. My trigs have gone down, my HDL has risen, but my LDL has stayed high. So I continually look for research information that can help me to understand this. And again, always telling you, talk to your doctor. We need our doctors on board so they know what we're doing, so we can convince them that it works. At any rate, it's time to talk about this particular study. This study is important because it specifically looked at obese people with high cholesterol and it compared them to a group of obese people with normal cholesterol. They went on the same ketogenic diet. In this ketogenic diet, let's go ahead and talk about the formulation because I know that that's what you want to know. If you want to know what was on the diet, it's right here. So we had our recommended foods, and I'm going to get right in here. And the good news is that you can Google long-term effects of ketogenic diet in obese subjects with high cholesterol level. I'll put the link in the notes to this video, and you can go and you can print out this entire study. So grateful for this particular study. Very often all you'll get is the abstract. Not with this study. They will give you the entire text of the study. You can download it. You can see exactly what they ate, exactly what methods they used. And I think that's really exciting. And I'm so grateful to the authors of this study. But for now, let's go ahead and talk about what's on this page. Recommended foods. What did they use? They had fish, tuna, sardine, prawns, shrimps, and lobster. Certainly, I would imagine that salmon and all kinds of fish, orange roughy, whatever it is that you like, sustainable fish, I hope. You can have fish on this nutrition plan, this ketogenic diet. Meat, kebabs. This study was done in Kuwait, and I think it's kind of cool that, as we see, the first thing is kebabs. At any rate, your meats, go ahead and eat your meat. Note that there isn't bacon on this program. Now, of course, I do eat bacon, but I'll get back to that in just a minute as we get into the fats that are on this diet. All right, so we have kebabs, sausages. Oh, there's sausages. Minced, chicken, eggs, so all kinds of poultry. I'm sure turkey and goose and duck would be fine too. Cheese, full fat cheeses. So basically all your meats. I'm sure lamb is fine, pork, well, it all depends, right? Some of this has to do with your taste and what you want to eat. At any rate, meats are on the menu. Vegetables and fruits. Oh, this is so cool. I really like this list. We got spinach, watercress, eggplant, parsley, cabbage, mushrooms, avocado, mulberry, leeks, carrots. Yes, carrots are on here. Radish, celery, lettuce, cucumber, tomato. The fruits. This is really important. Your fruits. Did you know that the olive was a fruit? It is. So your olives, 10 to 15 a day. Strawberries, 6 per day. Yay! Of course, not huge mega strawberries. Come on, normal strawberries. Berries, 10 per day. So you could have some strawberries or some berries, and lemon. So you can have lemon juice. You know the tonic, right? Tablespoon of lemon juice, tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, plenty of water to dilute it. That's the tonic. That's what I drink. All right, so there it is. But what's really important about this particular iteration of the ketogenic diet, 20 grams of carbohydrate or less per day. The oil, the added fat that they used was exclusively olive oil. So if that is your concern, and say you're going to your doctor and saying, hey doc, I want to go keto, and your doctor says, saturated fat, say, well, there's this Kuwaiti study that I've downloaded for you, and it uses olive oil as the added fat. So this might be one solution that you could take to your doctor. So if you get sugar freedom and your doctor looks at it and says, that's too much saturated fat, you can say, well, Catherine suggested that we can simply use this template of the meats and the vegetables and a couple of fruits, and then we can use olive oil as what the added fat would be. Because the whole point with the ketogenic approach is that we're going to pull out enough of the sugar and glucose that we are going to require the body to burn its own body fat for fuel, correct? In order to do that, we've got to restrict the carbohydrates enough to cause ketosis, to bring ketosis about so that the body can be using its own fat for fuel, for all of the different functions of the body. And I do hope that you will download and read this study, because it does go into that more. I'm not going to go into that particular aspect right now, but the whole idea is that going into ketosis and generating the beta hydroxybutyrate, your body is actually going to use those byproducts in place of glucose, correct? So the ketogenic state, holding it to 20 grams, which allows the production of the ketone bodies, that's one of the reasons why you're not hungry, why you can stay on the diet, why you're not losing lean muscle mass. This is so crucially important, is because your body says, well, okay, if you're not going to give me any glucose, I'll do some gluconeogenesis from the protein you give me, and I will use ketones in place of glucose in areas of the body, including the brain, where that's needed. And I hope it makes sense. And once again, I hope you will download the study and take a closer look at it in order to understand what's going on. So now I've introduced the study to you, I've told you what's on the menu, and I just want to briefly read some of the results and conclusions. Both groups, the group that came in with normal cholesterol and the group that came in with high cholesterol, they all lost weight. They all reduced their cholesterol numbers, but they increased their HDL. So their high density lipoprotein was increased. Interestingly enough, LDL kind of went down in everybody. Oh, also, this is really important. This was a long-term study. Dear friends, this study lasted 56 weeks. More than a year. So I think one of the things that if you're talking to your medical practitioner, that's going to be something that's really going to interest them, that this wasn't 2 weeks, 2 months, this was a full year, more than a full year, and we did not see adverse effects. So I am going to go ahead and do some reading here. Here come the conclusions. All right. Okay, a majority of the subjects suffered from metabolic syndrome, visceral obesity, atherogenic dyslipidemia, in other words, low HDL, high LDL, and triglycerides, and elevation of blood sugar. So what happened? Oh, also, this is very important as well. Most of these participants came in already doing 45 minutes of walking a day. I think they were found by their doctors. That's how they found these folks. High cholesterol and obesity. They were already walking 45 minutes a day. However, they weren't losing any weight. I mean, walking is so good for you. It's good for the mind, the body, the spirit, good for your dog if you have a dog. But the reality of it is that this 45 minutes a day of walking was not helping any of them lose weight. It wasn't until they went keto that the weight came off. What they continue to do is they continue to do their 45 minutes a day of walking. And I really hope that you will keep up your activity, your walking. You know me, I recommend resistance training if you will please add it. But of course, that's another video. There's plenty of other videos on this channel that talk about the resistance training that I do quite happily recommend. But walking was what they did. And I think the bottom line is, and I'm going to read the last paragraph in the study before we get to the acknowledgments, and here it is. Administering ketogenic diet for a relatively longer period did not produce any significant side effects in subjects with high level of total cholesterol. Therefore, this study suggests that it is safe to use ketogenic diet for a longer period of time, regardless of the total cholesterol of the subjects. And I know I said it before, but that means that I hope that you will get this study, download it, and not just use it to reassure yourself, but take it to your doctor and say, hey doc, I want to try either sugar freedom or another low sugar, reduced carbohydrate protocol in order to improve your health and perhaps your cholesterol levels. So I will simply close again with the title, Long-Term Effects of Ketogenic Diet in Obese Subjects with High Cholesterol Level. That was me. I'm no longer obese. I healed my obesity back in 2008 and just so grateful to continue to share what I have learned with you. I hope you will like and subscribe. We've got some really good videos coming. The next video I'm going to do is on the historical Joslin diabetes diet that they used back in 1915 before the availability of synthetic insulin. Wow, really interesting. You're going to be interested to see what that Joslin diabetes diet looked like. All right, I'll give some of it away. It looked a lot like sugar freedom. So that's our next video. I continue to do videos on getting off of sugar, using resistance exercise, being happy, and enjoying a healthy lifestyle so that we can let sugar go and still have fun. Leave a comment if there's a video that you want to see, if you want to know if something is safe and effective. I will go out there and I will look for the evidence that it is, because I am somebody who's been living keto for a long time and I still want to gain evidence, intelligence, knowledge, so I can help other people do the same thing. All right, like, share, subscribe, and I will see you back here very soon on the Sugar Freedom channel with more information on getting off of sugar, staying off of sugar, and healing obesity for life. Thanks, everybody.